need to get in there eventually. But maybe I should look around the property first.
I'm looking on the property first. Oh! After I found Dennis murdered, Anna and I called the cops. We tried to cover our tracks as much as possible. I'm not happy about getting Anna mixed up in this, but being honest with her feels like the only right thing to do in this whole mess. Realizing that Nick's death could have only been murder brought me focus and clarity. But for Anna it was shock. She barely had time to react, but there's no doubt it hit her hard. Yeah. I should have known Anna hates nothing more than old-fashioned fake chivalry, but I intend to keep that promise. And I'd go on more about that, but I'm not going to because that would open a can of worms. Let's see. Nick's accident report was shoddy. I can't count on the police anymore. Worse, they might think I killed Dennis. I'm not sure dragging in Anna into this was smart. Well, you know what, bro? She can take care of her goddamn self. So, and she wants to be a part of this. So, if she goes down, she goes down. But you know what, dude? Like, although that does make me feel like I just made a false promise to the other dude, Joe. But you know what, man? Fuck it. I will personally have no, like, straight up, I don't really have any compunction about revealing shit to Anna simply because she's her own person. She can do what she needs to do. Nick was investigating something. He always wanted to break a big story. But in the end, did it fizzle out like he said to Walter, or was he just keeping things to himself? Now that I've been to the site where Nick had his fatal crash, I'm convinced it wasn't an accident. Drunk driving and speeding just doesn't square with his personality. Getting in over his head with an investigation does, unfortunately.
It's Bugs. She probably brought it over one time when she came with Nick.
She's a bit of a tomboy, isn't she? And yes, tomboy, not to be confused with something I've seen on the internet lately called a femboy. I'm not gonna talk about that. You wanna know what that is? Google it yourself. That's just that. Ugh.
It was great to come back from work, sit down, and read until the sun went down.
I'll give you a hint about my last occupation. The only thing I associate gazebos with are people taking smoke breaks. Or just people smoking in general. If you know anything about anything, okay. If you know anything about my last occupation, then you already know what that occupation was.
Anna and I spent our nights out here, trying to find all the constellations.
The only time I've ever given a shit about constellations was under two contexts. One was under with an app called Skyview, I think. I think it's called Skyview. It's actually a pretty cool app. You can see like planets and stuff like that all up in the sky. You can use it any time of day, but it's not really cool unless you use it at night, because then it looks like you're looking at stuff in space. You can see constellations, planets, stars, all types of shit. It's really cool. Um, and it gives you information about each one of them too. Granted, the information is like straight from Wikipedia, but still. Oh, and the only other context I ever had for Constellation is the Animal Crossing video game series, namely Wild World and City Folk. Since in population growing you can't see the sky, in a New Leaf they took that mechanic out. Paint bucket. Oh. Hmm. I have known somebody in the past who was putting together their own garden, about like this too, with with all these little things like this. And I'll tell you what, dude, and of course I had to help because I was like probably 13 at the time. I'll tell you what though, dude, like making this shit, it's not hard, like overall, but like it's time consuming, and for a 13-year-old who doesn't give a shit about that shit, it's really taxing. Sign. Oh, house for sale sold.
I think the happiest I ever saw Anna was the day she bought this place.
Hmm. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember?
I want everyone to know this house is sold.
I don't think anybody cares aside from you.
You're mine. I own you now. It might be 200 years before it's paid off, but it's mine.
It's actually the
So,
banks.
when can I start moving my own stuff in?
After you finish carrying all my stuff in.
Sure, but that means I get to choose which side of the bed I'm sleeping on.
What? No! You're gonna sleep on the side closest to the door.
Why's that?
So
if
you
someone
can,
breaks
yeah,
in,
exactly.
you can fight them off. And maybe because I like being near the window.
Somehow I feel like it's entirely the second thing and not at all the first.
We can talk about all this after my stuff's inside.
But all your stuff's so heavy.
Which is why I need your help. Don't slack, Sam. This house isn't gonna decorate itself. And I want you to be part of that.
Garden shed. I think that pretty much looked over everything as far as the left side of the house goes. Now let's go for the right. Can I say this is a decent property, man? Does all of West Virginia look like this? Nice carport.
I used to follow it down to the shack every other week for fishing Sunday.
Not anymore. I think I pretty much looked at everything. Okie dokie. Oh, right, the break-in. Yeah. You should probably get that fixed sooner than later. Can't help but notice you guys haven't cleaned anything up yet. Just saying that's the first thing I'd do if my shit was broken into. That's the first thing I did when my car was broken into.
Anna is not well. This time, at least, try to be there for her.
Hey, asshole. Actually, never mind, you have a point.
Anna? Anna, are you okay?
Fuck do you think?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. She needs you, buddy. Needs me? I don't even think she knows I'm here. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Something. Anything. It's the thought, the effort.
Personally, I wouldn't say
Get her
shit.
a drink. Just show her you're here. I'm not sure how a drink will make her feel better about murders and break-ins. But I guess I've heard worse ideas.
Ha! Oh, I thought it was my choice. It is my
She kept
choice.
the drinks in the kitchen, in one of the pantries. I've never even had my car broken into. It's hard to imagine how she feels.
Oh, I have had my car broken into, and I can tell you it fucking sucks. It ruins your whole fucking week. So I can only imagine how badly it sucks to have your fucking house broken into. Yeah. That's a I'll even divulge on that. Um I'm not gonna put a timestamp. If you don't want to hear, I'm gonna pause it. If you don't want to hear the story, then skip until the pause screen is done. So it was on a weekend, a Saturday night. The last time I parked my car in front of the house on a Friday night, I didn't use it Saturday at all. Sunday morning, I went to go get into it, and my window was bashed in, and I had a briefcase that was in the car. in the passenger seat, and I left it in there by mistake. I didn't even know I did. Um, and then it wasn't like for a job or like that. I was in college at the time, and it had schoolwork in it, which really still sucks though. Um, and but the briefcase was stolen out, and that's it. Everything else was left untouched. But what really sucked though was the fact that now it got broken into. I know for a fact, like it got broken into probably Saturday night. That's my guess, because that Saturday night happened to be very rainy. And so to add insult to injury, not only was my driver's side window bashed to hell, well bashed open, but also the fact that the driver's seat and really the entire like driver kind of thing there, like the floor, everything was soaking wet because it got rained in, and which really sucked. And so I drove around. I put some clear like I don't know how to describe it. I put this clear like seal stuff. It wasn't a seal, but this clear like wrapping stuff over it. I just duct taped it to the driver's side car, and then it took about a week. I think it took about a week to get it fixed, because I had to call I was gonna so I called a car dealership, because you can get your windows fixed at a car dealership. I called a dealership, and I called just a regular like glass fixing service that fixes car windows, house windows, all that type of shit. And the dealership was gonna take. Now I made this phone call on Monday because nothing was open. It was a Sunday when I found this shit out. So on Monday I called. The dealership said they could do it by Wednesday, and then the window service said they could do it by Tuesday. I was like, cool. So I went for the window service because I want to get this shit done sooner than later. And they came by on Tuesday. Actually, no, wait. Actually, one thing I did on Sunday, I believe, actually, was I went to the car wash too. I didn't get a car wash, but I used one of the because car washes have vacuums. I used one of the vacuums to vacuum out my seat and the floor as much as I could, both for the broken glass, because there's broken glass everywhere, both for the broken glass, but also because I didn't want to leave the seat and the floor just soaked for a long for that long. So I did my best to vacuum out as much of the water as possible, but it worked for the most part. Like it really worked a lot. Like my seat and my floor were still a bit damp after they were still damp after the vacuuming, but they weren't soaking wet anymore. Um, so that worked out as well enough. And then on Tuesday, when the car window service came about, what ended up happening was they didn't have the right type of window. Cause one thing about my car is I'm not gonna tell you what kind of car I have specifically, but I'll tell you that my car is a coupe. If you don't know what that means, it means that it has two doors. And another difference between a coupe and a regular vehicle, like say like a sedan, is that the windows are different sized. I did not inform them that it was a coupe. Why did I not inform them of that? Because I didn't know it made a difference at the time. I only know that now. So they only brought sedan type shit, and so the windows they had, they did their job. They vacuumed out the rest of the glass except for one shard. And that one shard, not gonna lie, that one shard, because they missed it. That one shard I keep it on my dashboard, just I guess kind of as a reminder to myself that I got fucked one time. And then who's it? The window service. Turns out they didn't actually have a window for a coupe. So what they had to do, what they ended up having to do was they ended up having to order a new coupe window from the dealership. And it took until Friday, I believe, for them to actually install it. Now here's the worst part though, is that when they left on Tuesday, so it's like like my advice: if you get your car window broken in, just repair to the dealership. Like It would have been better if I just did that in hindsight. But even make it worse. On Tuesday, what they did was they didn't have the proper fitting window, but so that I at least had something. They put the wrong size window into my car door. That way, at least it's something. And we put tape over it. I couldn't use the window, of course. I couldn't roll up or down, but it was just kind of there to just to be there, basically. But one thing they also ended up doing by mistake was they disconnected the wiring in my door, because car doors have wirings in case you didn't know. They disconnected the wiring, which is something you need to do. You need to disconnect the wiring in order to move around the windows and all that. But they forgot to put the wiring back in. And what ended up happening as a result of that is that not only did could not use the windows, but my driver's side door couldn't open from the inside between Tuesday and whenever it got fixed again, which I think it was Friday, the 3 days later. So for about 3 days, and I was still in school, so I had to go to school and all that. My door wouldn't open from the inside; it would only open from the outside. um, so I had to sit there and maneuver myself to the passenger seat and then get out on the passenger side, which really sucked because I have back problems and knee problems. That really, oh god, it was painful every time. Um, and then they finally got that fixed. But yeah, so that's the story of what happened to when my car got broken into. It was a very shitty week, and yeah, use your dealership. Um, I would not recommend using insurance. I didn't use my insurance. I called my insurance when it first happened, but like the next day I ended up canceling my claim because I don't need this shit. Like it's a broken window. I'll tell you this. Overall, it costed like $500. $500 meaning what I lost from the briefcase as well as the cost to repair the window. The whole thing costing me like $500. Or less. No, I actually think it actually cost me less than $500. Um, I wouldn't recommend using insurance. One thing I did do though was I did file a police report about it. Not that it really did shit. I mean, it's on record that my car got broken into. Whoop-de fucking do. Nobody saw it. The police can't do shit about it. I'm not Sam Higgs here, so I couldn't reconstruct events as they happen and tell who bashed in my fucking car window. Yeah. Dude, actually, no, that happened almost a year ago now. Cause I don't know when this is gonna be uploaded. I'm recording this in late January of 2021. That happened when my car getting bashed in, the window getting bashed in happened not at the very beginning, but like towards the beginning of February of 2020. I'd say probably somewhere around February 10th, probably before February 10th, is when that happened of 2020. So that happened almost a year ago now. Interesting. Now, one interesting thing about that too, about that little story, is that when I don't play GTA very often, but when I play GTA now, I do not steal cars anymore. Because one of the ways they steal cars, for like actual Grand Theft Auto style, is they bash in the window before they get in the car, and like it hurts my heart every time I bash in the window in that game. It really does. It hurts my heart. So like in GTA Online, I either use my own car from the mechanic, or I carjack somebody else. In case you don't know, the difference is Grand Theft Auto is when you're stealing an unmanned car. Carjacking is when you're stealing a car when somebody's already in it. Anyway, that's the story. Interesting story, right? All right, let's get back to it. Closets. Search seemed thorough. Fridge. Oh, god damn it. Let's see. Read. I can't read that. I'm sorry about yesterday. You're right. I have been distant. Things have been pretty messy at work lately. You don't have to forgive me, but if you'd like to invite me to a concert, I'll just leave these two here. P.S. Oh, yeah, that was the thingy from the thingy. Yeah, I remember that. But what about cups for a drink? Because that was the whole objective here, right? Pantry. I don't see what the pantry has to do with anything.
She normally keeps some drinks in the pantry.
Does she?
It's been a while, Sam. Things have changed around here. You feel like looking at old keepsakes?
Not particularly.
No.
If this is my house, then that box would be labeled Sam's shit.
Ah, here's where she keeps the drinks.
Chocolate drink. Lime juice whiskey. Oh, great. Now I gotta get her the right fucking thing, otherwise she's gonna be upset again. God damn it. Okay, here's how you do this. You say, "Can I get you anything to drink?" Even though it's your house, can I get you anything to drink?
She used to drink this every day in middle school. Brings her back to being 10.
Chocolate milk. Who the fuck puts chocolate milk in a cut in a?
People in film noirs always offer a stiff drink in times like this. Might work.
Don't stress about what drink you bring her. It's just bringing it that
Her
matters.
go-to soft drink. She actually likes to drink this stuff straight. Could do.
I'll do this. I'm not gonna do the whiskey. I'll do lime juice.
On the bright side, I don't think it's possible to make her feel worse.
Oh, it's
You're not
possible.
helping.
You'd have to do something astronomically shitty to her, but
Yes, you are. Thanks.
alright. And he's not holding anything unless I have to physically. Nope. Okay. Him? It's just him. He's not even named. Good God.
Lime juice. Still something you like?
That's sweet. I'd assumed you'd already gone to look around and, I don't know, think.
Doesn't seem like she gives a shit.
This is just so fucked. Nick? My house?
Sam, you should distract her. Get her talking or thinking about anything else.
My stuff, everything is trashed. Is this like the worst coincidence? Or is it related to Nick's death? Did his murderer break into my house?
You're not alone. Here, have a drink. It'll help.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's helping a bit.
So, what now? Find a way to comfort in it. What? I want to give her a hug? What the hell do you want me to do? Tidy it up? Fuck
This
it.
feels like the only part of the house I recognize. Whatever punk broke in here wrecked it.
If there was such a trip become human, it'd have you do this button sequence by button sequence.
There.
Vinyls. I don't really know what a vinyl is. Actually, I sort of do. Never mind. Medical bills.
Anna has to be helping her dad out with these. I'm not sure it's enough.
Yep. Healthcare is highway robbery in the United States. Although I can't talk about that any more than just saying that because otherwise it goes into the POL. Let's see. Hmm. Ah, this is you
Sam,
doing
what
your
are you doing?
journalistic work.
I called for dinner like a dozen times. It's gonna get cold. I
He's
am not
focused.
your mom, you know. Working on an article is no reason to ignore basic politeness, Sam. Fine. You can eat your dinner cold for all I care. I'm done waiting for you.
A little too obsessed with your work, I suppose. Why is it all antsy now all of a sudden? By the way, I don't know if you can hear a meowing cat in the background or not, but if you can, it's because there's a meowing cat.
Anna always has trouble thinking when there's weird noises going on. To be fair, most people do. Like that. Whatever that is, it'd be smart to find it and shut it off.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to know? I thought it was just background music. I didn't know it was diegetic. There we go. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to comfort Anna, but okay.
Hey, are you feeling better?
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Sorry, I just kind of lost it for a second there.
You're good.
Yeah. I mean, careful, Sam. You know you can be indelicate. She needs your support right now.
I mean, it hasn't been an easy week, you know? And
No
I've
shit,
got the
girl.
feeling it isn't over yet.
It's not.
Whatever happens, you're not alone. We'll face it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Game, I know how to have basic human interactions without talking to an imaginary friend.
Reminding her she has people to lean on is a great start.
This whole thing is a mess. But honestly, it's been a mess for a while. Like, everything was fine, you know? Nick moved in, it was nice, but lately he just closed himself off. He'd been gone most nights, at the bar or the fishing shack, come home late, refusing to talk about his work. It got unbearable. It was almost like I was living with you all over again.
That's fucked up.
It doesn't feel good, but she needs to get this off her chest.
I know what
Don't be
catharsis
too
is.
harsh on her. You're right. I shut you out, and I'm sorry.
The past is the past. None of what's happening now is your fault. I'm just lashing out. It's just having you in the house. It's bringing back a lot of things. We had a good time. So many memories here, both bad and great.
We did have a good time, yeah.
But then
Lots of
came
good
Dad's
times.
accident, the mine investigation, your proposal. I still feel
Damn!
horrible about how it all happened. But you understand why I said no, right?
I do.
You didn't want a ring. You told me before. I thought it was what you're supposed to do. I thought maybe it'd save us.
That's a nice thought. I feel like you're listening now. And I thank you for that. You know? It ended so abruptly, you and I.
You
I don't think
suggest
I
we
ever
should...
took the time to really process what happened. I wonder if it would have ended the same way with Nick. If my relationship with him was as doomed as my relationship with you. The way Nick closed himself off to me the last few weeks. Maybe it's just me.
He was onto something.
Maybe I can't bear to live with someone, to truly share my life, to make compromises and all that.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell her it wasn't her fault, I think. Well, you know what? You know what?
She's feeling guilty about what happened. She shouldn't bear that burden alone.
Okay, I just wanted to see what happened if I actually asked him. Okay, here's the thing though. Like, I already knew that. Like, does this game think I can't read between the lines of when people say shit? Let's see. I'm not Nick. It wasn't doomed.
It wasn't your fault that Nick closed himself off. No one makes someone distant, especially someone like Nick. It must have been on his side. He was dealing with something dark. I know that's why I closed people off. I never spoke to Nick again after leaving town.
It doesn't matter anyway, now does it? He's dead, and whatever we had is done. And we're on our own if we're gonna find out who killed him. I'm not backing down from this, no matter what we find. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know who killed Nick as much as you do.
Let's get the asshole who did this behind bars. It's the only thing we can do for Nick now. I just keep bouncing back from terrified to angry.
That is very understandable.
Can you take a look upstairs? I still need a moment.
No problem.
Let me make sure I'm done crying and all that.
I've been wondering about what's
Take
up
your
there
time.
anyway.
I'll tell you if anything's wrong.
Thanks, Sam.
It's hard to talk about the past with Anna, especially when the present is so complicated. Anna and I had the talk. The talk. About Nick, about us, about everything that went wrong. We're still struggling to get through to each other. Nothing's changed there. But we both want to get to the bottom of this for Nick's sake. I've been wanting to see what's up here, so let's find... Oh, I thought it was going to be some kind of like loading screen. Interesting. Put after the X. Yeah, what the hell happened to him anyway? I don't want to open any doors yet. I want to explore just out here first. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty fancy dancy looking bathroom. 2 sinks? Yo. This is about as fancy. This is like half as
Looks like Jones
fancy.
using this room now.
Is she? Looks about as fancy.
Anna must have been letting her use it when she stayed over.
Looks half as fancy as the ones from The Last of Us. In case you don't know, I love the random houses in The Last of Us. I think they're beautiful. Smart but easily distracted. Desk. Ransacked, Mr. Unicorn, Bug's oldest friend. Her bed isn't made or anything. Thrashed. Ah, so that's how it's supposed to look. Please, for the love of fuck, don't. Oh, thank God. I don't know
Come
why
on,
my mind
walk, you
went
piece
there,
of
but it
junk.
went there.
I know you're awake.
No, I'm not.
Then how are you talking?
I'm a celebrated sleep talker.
Come on, get up. I need your help.
Did you try rebooting it? That's honestly all I got.
I have tried that. If I don't get this done by noon, Walter won't run the article. What do I do?
Okay, okay. Let me see it.
Thank you. It just won't respond to anything. Do you want a back rub while you work?
As your hero, it's the least you could do.
I'll do more than that, my white knight.
You talking about a
Oh, you
blowjob?
will. My princess of the typefaces.
Of course. When you fix it.
I mean, sucking dicks, getting your dick sucked for fixing your laptop. Is a pretty good, not a bad reward. As far as I'm concerned. It's been thrashed. That's about it. Can I?
The door is closed. Huh. She never used to lock it.
Well, she is now. That's right though, 'cause the bathroom door is cracked. It's alright. Let's see.
Why is it so dark in here?
It's not. There's light clearly coming in. Oh, I was about to go unlock the door. Same when everything changes. Inspect. Transfer.
Huh? Is someone downloading something off Nick's laptop?
In progress, too. Who the fuck are you?
Sam! Sam! Who was that? Sam! Are you okay?
I think whoever trashed your house just trashed me.
Can you stand?
Yeah. Yeah. The headache isn't as bad as the one I had this morning.
I couldn't get a good look at them. They just sprinted out of the house, and I heard some weird, loud engine drive off.
Well, whoever it was, they were dumping data off Nick's computer. I must have interrupted them.
There's no trace of whatever he took. So what do we even do now?
I'm sorry to tell you, no, I'm not the most computer smart guy in the world. But as far as I know, that's not how thumb drives work. You can copy and paste, but as far as I know, you can't cut and paste. When it comes to a thumb drive, as far as I know, kind of because I've tried to cut and paste before and I couldn't do it. So unless I was just using a weird software that maybe for some reason couldn't do it, it's kind of like the game Soma, where you can copy things but you can't cut and paste. Next backup files.
We need Nick's backups, if he has any. Did he ever do anything like that? Boxes in the attic, files to the cloud, another computer? Did he have anywhere besides here and the Basswood jungle he kept things?
No. No, I don't think so. I don't.
Okay.
Actually, over the last few months, remember I mentioned Nick has been going out a lot to that old fishing shack his family owns.
I know the one. I went there with Nick and Bug a few times.
He went mostly in the evenings. Most nights, really. Said he was night fishing.
Sounds
But if he
bullshit
was
to me.
secretly using it as a second office,
It'd be worth taking a look.
Your father called. Said there'd been a break-in?
Oh.
couldn't they have gotten here 2 minutes ago? They'll arrest me if they found Dennis's body.
You go out the back. I'll talk to Bess and keep her busy.
If you're sure, I'll go to the fishing shack. It sounds like if Nick was hiding something, it might be there.
Sorry! I was just in the bathroom. Be right out. Go.
That's not fishy at all.
Nick's fishing shack. Lot of memories here. Good memories. Anna said he'd been sneaking off here to work on something. I almost hope I don't find anything. Nick, what were you up to?
Oh, you're gonna find something. I think the sound engineer is fucked up on more than just the loud-ass music. Cause, the only sound is his footsteps. There's no other ambient noise. And that's not me. Like, that's not, I'm not altering this footage in any way. Oh, Jones here. That's just how this is.
Joan rides this bike everywhere. Which is impressive with how far away everything is out here. What's it doing here?
There we go. I was about to say, are you not going to comment on the fact that it's here?